Good morning, good evening, good night, everyone. With the launch of Mario Kart World and Switch 2, I feel like there is something important to talk about with the recent state of Nintendo. First, I'd like to talk about who the Switch is for. Now, the Switch 1 was an incredible decision by Nintendo to merge both the portable and home console fanbase. Though the price tag had to be perfect, as their portables were always much cheaper than their home consoles, I think they nailed it, with the Switch 1 launching for $299 in 2017 in comparison to something like the PS4 Pro, which released a year prior for $399. Nintendo would unveil the Switch Lite a couple years later after the initial Switch launch for $200. This is great because now everyone in the family, including children, could really own the Switch to themselves because of that lower price point. The Switch wasn't made to compete with other home consoles, but now I feel like it does. I feel like this console is more of a premium now. This is a bad thing, as it locks out a huge portion of the player base who simply don't have the funds to shell out $450 for the latest console. This is a price hike from the first Switch of $150. Keep in mind that this isn't accounting for the price hikes in accessories like a pair of Joy-Cons going for nearly $100. With all that being said, though, the Switch 2 still sold out pre-orders and finding one to buy wasn't too easy. This is not to say that it was impossible or difficult, but you really had to go out of your way to try to snag one. What this means is that Nintendo has gotten their feedback to this price and feel fairly comfortable with it. I mean, if you hike the price and your consoles are selling out, I mean, why wouldn't you be, right? So comfortable that they are willing to sell a tutorial on the Switch 2 for another $10. And yes, I'm talking about the Welcome Tour. The Welcome Tour. It is an absolute robbery to sell a tutorial when your fanbase has already bought the console. This also does not consider how to complete and finish the game. And I quote here, all 12 of the different areas in Welcome Tour are accessible whether you are plugging in a camera or not, but to play and beat every minigame, additional accessories are required, according to Nintendo. Those accessories include a USB camera, a controller with GL and GR buttons, the kind in the Switch 2 Pro controllers grips, and a 4K compatible TV. If you wanted to go the official route and use Nintendo's accessories, that means paying $55 extra on top of, the base console, the base Nintendo console. This does not come included with it. An additional $55 for the Nintendo Switch 2 camera and $85 for the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller, assuming you already own a 4K TV. And I got this quote from Engadget. I'll put the link in the description if you are interested. Now, obviously, it does make sense that the Welcome Tour / tutorial does, it would include the other accessories, because why wouldn't it? It's a tutorial. You want to include all the accessories and the ecosystem. But, I mean, also, no one had to pay for extra accessories for something like Wii Sports, so I imagine Nintendo's thought process was, if we can charge an extra $10 from free in the Welcome Tour, then why not add another extra $10 in Mario Kart World? With MKW or Mario Kart World costing $80 in the US and even more in other countries, we could see that the reception or feedback to this online was negative, but clearly the sales say otherwise. It's not like Mario Kart World isn't a great game. From all the initial first impressions I've seen from popular YouTubers, from Shortcat to TWD98, people seem to be enjoying the game thoroughly. I mean, it has the 24 player count, it has free roam, KO mode, all new and reimagined 30 tracks, and it's just a very pretty looking game. A very, very pretty looking game. But that's not the issue here. In fact, one could even make a case that it's missing 200cc mode, which really surprised me. I really thought they would have. Why wouldn't they have 200cc out the box? And having Mario Kart 8 Deluxe simply exists with its 96 total tracks, essentially tripling Mario Kart Worlds, makes it a more complete package at a lower cost. Another horrible practice is releasing video game cartridges without the cartridges themselves having the game in it. Instead, they will function as game key cards, and this is true for Mario Kart World, meaning they won't hold all the data in them, opting for the password, quote-unquote password, to a license to download the game digitally. This isn't to say all publishers will be using key cards, as Nintendo has given the option to publishers, but this is very concerning as to make a step forward for consumers to not own anything but instead carry a license to use something until the owner, in this case Nintendo, just decides to pull the plug, essentially legally taking away your game. Of course, the games themselves will last as long as they're relevant. I mean, Mario Kart World isn't going anywhere for a good number of years, but what's going to happen when they're not remains to be seen. This gives not only Nintendo, but other game companies, your Sony, Xbox, publishers like Ubisoft, Activision, along with game studios to maybe start charging a little more than usual. I can't help but think this will slowly but surely condition customers or consumers to seeing this as a new norm. A new norm, especially in today's world where salaries and wages are not increasing or adjusting to inflation. I can't help but be really worried and concerned for the future. Thank you for watching.